Welcome to Construction Junkies coverage of Groundbreak 2020, Procore's annual construction technology conference. My name is Shane, and right now I'm joined by Andy Lambert, the Group Program Manager of One Key for Milwaukee Tool, and Chris Lengiza, the Director of Business Development for Procore. Hey guys, thanks for joining me.
Hey Shane, good to be here.
Thanks for having us.
So I want to start off with Milwaukee, as they're the guest for Groundbreak this year. And obviously everybody knows Milwaukee as the Red Tool brand. They're in all the Home Depots. They're on almost every job site I've ever been on. But there's something interesting that Milwaukee's been developing over the past couple of years, and that's their One Key platform. And Andy, I want to let you describe, where One Key came from, and then how it's kind of evolved over the past few years.
We launched One Key back in 2016, and the goal was to really disrupt the industry with some innovation. And we came out with a lot of industry firsts, with One Key, from taking our smart tool technology and marrying it up with software. So we set out to create the industry's largest connected tool platform, which we have done. And when we look at the platform itself as it stands today, we're at 50 plus tools and devices. But then you match that up with our tracking network. And back in 2016, we're a small network in size, and we've grown to be the largest tracking network of its size, crowdsourced Bluetooth, and are getting close to 6 million location updates throughout the United States. And so we have the industry's largest connected tool platform that gives you control over your tools, more control that you had before, the ability to customize those tools. There's some features in there to reduce the risk of injury to the end users, like our anti-kickback and cut brake. But we're also, there we go.
Yeah.
Love the call out. Yeah, that's a great example of a tool that has caused a lot of wrist and injury, shoulder injury, with some of the competing products. But we obviously take our end users' safety, as a big key to our success. So features like the anti-kickback, just keeping the job more safe, more productive. But at the same time, we're also, with the smart tool technology, able to pull off a lot of data off of those tools in terms of utilization and usage. So when you're securing a job site with our tracking network and a geofence, and you put the smart tool technology there, you also marry it up with our inventory management or asset management software platform. These three core pillars, tightly integrated together, create a really good and rich end user experience. And these are industry leading products. So it's something that we continue to invest in and continue to evolve as the years go by. So we're definitely seeing more gains when we look at ourselves as an enterprise-focused solution. That connected tool platform is going to continue to grow. Our devices, like our tick tracker and our asset ID tags, are just a couple, examples of our location services and devices roadmaps. And then our software platform becomes more and more enterprise, with release of multi-user functionality, custom roles, and so on.
Yeah. So you've got I already showed the drill, but some tools are marked One Key enabled. So how many current One Key tools do you have on the market?
Yeah, that's where we're at, about 50 plus. Okay. On some of the lower end, like the drills and impacts, and like a Sawzall, you have dual SKUs. So you can buy a One Key version or a non-One Key version. Yeah. But as you get into some of our tools that are a little bit more in value, like our Force Logic, our crimpers, our cutters, and our torque wrenches, and then into our MX Fuel light equipment lineup, those just have One Key baked into all of them. So single SKU. But we know that some of those customization features are vital to the experience of the end user, and just the location tracking based on the value themselves are going to be a key component to those.
Yeah, one of the coolest things is, even on the table saw, you have One Key enabled on your cordless table saw, so you can actually lock it out when you're not using it, so somebody else can't use it, whether it's another. If it's for selfish reasons, you don't want other trades using it, or if you're leaving for the night, you don't want somebody breaking into the job site and using your saw. And then again, if they take it out of the geofence area that you've enabled on your One Key app, it'll actually lock the tool out, make it basically a paperweight.
We see that a lot, from our contractor end users, that either they want to lock a tool out so other trades, don't have access to it, or from a theft and a security standpoint. If you are protecting a job site with a geofence and you get an automated alert saying this tool has walked off the job site, you can actually go in and mark it lost or stolen, which when it's picked up within our crowdsourced network, it will do that same feature. It will lock that tool out. We see a lot of tools end up at our service centers that have been locked out, and it's not the owner of the tool that's bringing it there. Our service centers will return it back to the rightful owner.
That's bold.
Yeah, it either ends up in a pawn shop or a service center.
Yeah, that's funny. So you did mention also the asset ID tags, which are these. This is one of a few different versions, and then the tick actually as well. If I got that right side up. So what are the use cases of these specific pieces of hardware?
Our OneKey tools are just inherently in our tracking network, but we know that a contractor, has a lot of other valuable equipment out there that they want to be tracked just like a OneKey tool would. So that's where our tracker comes into play. If you're an electrical contractor or a general contractor and you have some light equipment even into the bigger equipment, or maybe it's a ladder or a gang box, and you want that tracked within our network, you can put that tick on it. Although the tick, costs, 15 to 20 bucks for one of those things. So we see, historically looking back, we see our end users going and saying, all right, there's got to be a threshold here, for us to go out there and purchase ticks and actually track using the Bluetooth network, the location. Then you get into some of the hand tools and the lesser expensive tools, where a contractor might not feel like there's cost justification into putting a tick on it. That's where those asset ID tags come into handy. They're not actively broadcasting their location. However, when they're scanned using the OneKey mobile app, we're actually putting that GPS location of the scan as the last known location of that inventory item. Yeah. So if the tool crib is scanning it and then the job site is scanning it, we're tracking the location based on those scans.
So there's a lot of user impact baked into the actual tools and the tracking and things like that. There's also a benefit on the project management, construction management side. So I guess for Chris, there's a new integration built in with Procore for the OneKey application. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, we're really excited to partner with Milwaukee. This has been great since we started working together on this integration. And we really wanted to deliver something specifically really geared towards our either self-performing GCs or our specialty contractors, because they're always trying to track tools and equipment. And they need to know what jobs they're on. They need to know what users have them. There's already tracking their projects somewhere in Procore. So why not link those two things up? And I think that's what's been really great, is to see how our customers, our joint customers, are leveraging the two platforms together to bring over projects from Procore, bring over the individuals, the users into Milwaukee so that you can assign them tools. And then as you're tracking those tools and equipment, those push back into Procore. So they're on your daily log. You can understand how many things you have. If I'm a project manager, I'm probably not going into OneKey, but I still need to know what tools are being charged to my job and what tools are there. And this gives me the ability to do that. That tool manager, that crib manager, that foreman, they're probably working in OneKey because they're making sure that they have the right tools for their people. And when they receive them from the shop or they go to pick them up at the shop, they're scanning them in and out. And so that's what's made it so valuable. And that's why we've already seen a great amount of adoption of our customers using this integration.
Yeah. And that's one of those things that tools have always been on job sites, obviously, but it's kind of just, we know the tools are out there. We've got them somewhere, but where exactly are they? And are we utilizing them? Are we getting a return on those tools? So if you have any type of data that you can gather using these two systems together, then that seems like a positive step in the right direction.
It's all about the data at the end of the day, I think, both from Milwaukee and Procore. And we're both collecting different types of data. In Procore, we're collecting timesheets and we're collecting productivity of amount of work put in place. Marry that up with the number of tools that you had to have for that crew, and that gives you a much better insight into what the actual cost was. Yeah. And that's where we are really excited about on some of the work that we're going to work on in the future, is pushing even more of that data together so that our customers can see the value and really start to understand what is the ROI here, what is my production, my true production? Are these things being used efficiently? Do I have 7 hammer drills, even though I have 4 carpenters, right? Like we need to make sure that we can measure those type of metrics, and we can go even a level deeper with some of the great sensors that the Milwaukee team has built directly into the tools as well.
So one of the things I've always loved about Procore is your willingness to integrate with third-party partners. What specifically flows back and forth between the two platforms?
I can jump in. We're looking to create efficiencies and look at processes and start to eliminate waste. And we had gotten to a point where the adoption of one key at an enterprise level was gaining more and more steam, and we were just creating this data silo. So by this partnership with Procore, we're able to pass some pretty master record type data back and forth just to eliminate some dual entry. So when a job gets set up in Procore, that automatically goes into one key as a place for the tool crib to transfer tools to. We also manage people within one key because you're going to be assigning tools to people. And Procore does a great job of managing a project directory. So, using their webhooks to automatically take people records from Procore and have them available in one key. There's some efficiencies that can be gained there. But like Chris so eloquently said, there's the project management office. They need better visibility to what's going on the job site. And the tools and equipment piece is a big part of that, especially when a project manager is potentially going to get charged for tools that aren't on his job site at the end that were there in the beginning. So having that visibility into what's going on is critical. And that's where we can say, hey, when tools go from the crib to the job site, automatically put that information into the daily log within Procore. Take that a step further, and theft is also a big issue. So when a tool, grows legs and walks off the job site, we want the project manager to know of those issues as well. So we'll automatically put a daily log notification in Procore that says, hey, these are the geofence alerts that have happened today.
Oh, great.
Hopefully there aren't any, but if there are, they're now in the know.
So there've been obviously a lot of advancements from the very beginning of one key, and you're probably not done yet. Would that be an accurate statement?
Yeah, Chris and I have become really good friends, and our organizations have really set forward, the path towards a strong partnership. So we never intended that everything I just went over from an integration standpoint was the end all. It's the fact that we've now opened up dialogue between our organizations, from our executives on down, and we're pursuing problems and in the industry as a whole, and how we can leverage our integration and our partnership to start to solve some of those problems. So it's a constant dialogue between our organizations. Chris and I talk, sometimes weekly, but at least monthly. And we have a lot of ideas floating around of where we can take this thing.
So how can we find more about one key?
Definitely, Milwaukee, we have our field force out there, our job site solutions reps, and they can always go to their local rep. But from a one key standpoint, you can always go to onekey.milwaukeetool.com. And there we have all the information about the platform where we are today. We also have a YouTube channel, resources page, and support page, within our microsite.
Milwaukee will also be at Groundbreak, which will be held October 27th and 28th. And if you're interested in attending that, I'll have a coupon code for $10 off registration in the description of the video below. And as always, be sure to check out constructionjunkie.com for the most interesting construction news and technology.